in terms of trading professionally, it's very, very important to understand one thing. Okay. The first and foremost thing is who is your opponent in any business? Okay. If you're in the real estate industry, what is your goal? Okay, it's to sell houses, yeah? Now, if you're trying to sell houses, who are you trying to sell houses to? You know, a customer. Can you see the customer? Can you understand who the customer is? Can you do your research on the customer? Can you judge him based on what he looks, what he's wearing, how he speaks, and how much is his bank account? You can judge all of that stuff and you can perform your speech accordingly to sell the house, right? In the Forex market, you never see your customer. Okay? This is the only industry where you're not putting your money to get a product in return or a service. You're putting your money in hopes to make more money. So you're betting on hope, which means your own hope. Okay? So your only opponent in the trading world is yourself. If you can control who you are, you pretty much have access to the industry. And that's why only a few can do this because it is really difficult to find fault in oneself, right? So it's uh, it's a very, very difficult process to go through. Now, let's touch base on some things here. All right, the next thing. Who are we? Okay, the opponent is yourself, but that's something you need to control into learning on what you need to do to turn profitable. Okay? Now, you're up against other traders, yeah, but you're not really challenging other traders. Now, for example, if one of you guys are sitting in the room and trading, you're not against the next guy trading in the same room. Your actual opponent is people who can actually move the market. We're talking about big institutions and stuff, so we're talking about the big boys. Now, these big boys, they don't move, hundreds of dollars. They move billions of dollars around. Okay? So we're talking about some of the smartest people on the planet. These are not people, some can even argue that they're smarter than rocket scientists, nuclear physicists. They're up in that level. These guys are smart, smart people. So you can't simply just come up with one strategy and then when something doesn't work, pop on to the next one. And if something doesn't work, pop on to the next thing. And if something doesn't work, increase your lot size. When it does work, you decrease your lot size or increase your lot size, or you double up, or you try to do revenge trading. All of this stuff, the little things that we do, needs to stop. Because the guy on the other side does not make mistakes. He will simply take the moment you make mistakes. Right? Do you guys agree with that? Or she. Okay. So you must be very, very consistent. Okay. And the next thing. One of the benefits that we have of trading is you're able to be opportunistic. Now, if you think Forex is a 24-hour market, and well, I work from, let's say, 9 to 7, and I'm free from like 8 to 12. So, Forex, the reason why I love Forex is 24 hours. I can trade whenever I want. Okay, it's not necessarily like that. If that was the case, what you're trying to do there is you're trying to force the market to fit into your schedule. You're pressuring it to do what you need to do. It's not going to happen. You have to adjust to what the market has to do and play accordingly, right? It's not going to set up, it's like the thing, right? The whole universe doesn't revolve around us, you know. So we need to understand all this stuff. Benefits of trading. Okay. If you know your strategy and your strategy works in a very particular way, you have to wait for that moment. Don't just pressurize the market into making that moment happen, even though it's not there. Wait for it. Wait for the market to set up into that moment, otherwise you do not trade. And when that moment happens, some of the things that I do with a lot of my students is we take a GoPro or a camera or whatever you like, and we record the individual. We record the individual. Let him take a look at himself when he's trading. Is he clicking his pen? Is his feet twitching? Is he getting too excited? Because the human emotion is the number one cause of problems in trading. Okay? So you have to watch all that stuff. If you can record yourself when you're trading, it's very important to study. What am I doing? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Do I forget to think logically when the trade is setting up? Am I adding size? What happens when I lose? What's going through my emotions at that time? You need to self-reflect as much as possible. Without this self-reflection, you won't know where the problem is. All you're going to do is, this strategy doesn't work. There's nothing wrong with me. I need a new strategy. You see what I'm trying to tell you guys here? The problem is generally not the strategy, because if you go on to like many websites like forums and stuff like that, the strategies are dime a dozen. They're back tested to I don't know how many years, and they're like, look at this, it's so perfect. Well, why doesn't it work then? It's the people who run it. Okay, so if we argue that, oh, maybe we should use EAs, well, EAs also don't work as well. It's not that simple as well. EAs would only work if there's a little bit of artificial intelligence in there, but without that, EAs cannot adapt as quick as your brain can adapt to certain information. Okay? So the benefits of trading is you can be opportunistic. You can wait for the right moment to come to you. Okay. This is one of my favorite things. It's a world of risk to reward. Now, many things in life, if you take a look at the big people, okay, if you study millionaires, billionaires, and all that stuff, you'll notice they don't mess around with 5%, 10%, 2%. That's not their game. Their thing is, if I'm putting in any amount of money, I want double, triple, quadruple, or more. Anything less than that, I don't touch. Okay? We're just trained to think as a normal individual that, oh, 10% a year, that's fantastic. The market must be excellent. Well, 10% a year is the return you get by putting up everything else you've got. That's some really high risk there. Okay? In the Forex world, it's not like that. Everything works to risk to reward. You can risk a certain degree of, like, for example, if you enter here, right there, okay, you enter somewhere there, your stop loss is up here, and you can keep your take profit somewhere there, you're looking at what looks like a 2:1. You're risking this much money to make this much money.